Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ZSR. Sorry for being a little late, but we are ready for the A Link to the Past No Major Glitches League Season 11. We're doing Hundo, and we're doing Desert Palace Division, and we're doing Kiebs versus shkoople, and without a further ado, let's switch to the layout and let's send it off to Rob J. Beasley. Take it away.
Hello everyone. How's it going? Hope you're all well. Yeah, we've got ourselves a league race, week 1 of this season, with the bold new format where we combine Link to the Past speedrunning with a memory game. Do you remember where all the items are, and do you remember to collect them? Looks like our racers are just setting up their file names, and we'll be good to go. Alright, looks like we're about to get started here. Alright, so escape to start with, not very heavily changed in Hundo, but the important thing to remember in this split is to forget the boomerang. I think both players will be forgetting the boomerang here. There are some potential routes with a water walk to get the red boomerang in a different location to where we would normally, but in general what you want to do is skip the boomerang and escape, which will put the red boomerang into a chest in Village of Outcasts. And yeah, the red boomerang in the Village of Outcasts is in a chest that we would normally be getting 300 rupees in regular NMG, so the money is a bit tighter in this category, especially as we have to spend a lot more of it. Both of them going for the up slash there to double spin the first key guard. Yeah, we're seeing the alternative strat for this room here. We tink the door to bring the guard towards us. It's a slightly quicker way of killing it when we don't need the treasure chest. Keeps got an aggressive soldier at the start of the ball and chain room there to kill it. So both of them collecting Zelda there, getting the lamp. That's one we do not want to skip. Right, on our way towards the back of escape here. Just gotta push this thing out of the way. I think there was a discussion in the Discord the other day as to what this thing actually is. Shkoople's taken a few little hits in escape here, but should be fine. Nothing hits hard enough that 1.5 hearts should be a concern. Yeah, this last room before the upstairs here is a little more awkward without the boomerang. Sometimes you've got to actually slash some rats out of the way. Shkoople's already got the rupee pack through to a red rupee, and unfortunately he's only been able to collect 2. So Kiebs out of escape slightly ahead, but no big difference as is to be expected. Sankheart up next. See most runners, especially in races, grabbing it in regular NMG, but in Hundo it is required. So on our way to Eastern Palace now. The split will also be essentially identical. Looks like we saw a red rupee drop on Kiebs' side there as well, so unfortunately neither of them were able to really farm the prize packs early on here. Both of them having to slalom kind of a few cannonballs there. No clear path through. Coming into the Stalfo spawn room here on Keeb's side. Kind of the first room in the run that really looks like a speedrun track is going on. Like, that doesn't look like regular gameplay. Keeps making use of a little bit of knowledge there of the safety hearts. The rarely seen second green rupee from that prize pack dropped in from that guy. So we're tied on 2 rupees each. But shkoople had a slight issue with the big key damage boost there, but again, nothing that's costing too much time here. So keeps maintaining this this slim lead from escape into the upstairs of Eastern Palace here. It's like shkoople having to wait for a second cycle, unfortunately, in Zelda Gamer Room. He's able to at least grab a handful of rupees here. Ooh, he also got the arrow drop from the first room from a guy that was not on his path, and then didn't get any additional drops from the 2 red guys in that last room. So, oh, and puts an arrow in the wall as well. So 1 arrow is pretty sketchy territory here. I'm gonna have to do some extra picking up in desert. But Keebs continues to be on a pretty clean run here. Gonna be the first one to the boots. Here we see another small divergence from any percent, where grabbing the rupees and bombs from the back of Sahasrar's house is standard procedure. Still no major divergence between the any percent route and the hundo route in this split. The only little thing to remember this time is to grab the heart piece on Desert Ledge during the dungeon. Shkoople going for the menu to book in that spot to try and avoid the water dash. Kiebs planning on using it a little bit later on this screen. Probably, okay, using it there to set this dash up. There's a lot of arrows to be collected in Desert. We saw Kiebs and now Shkoople already walking through a completely free arrow pot. It's completely on your path. There's a couple that we'll grab in the Circle of Pots room as well. Then there's the one in the room that Kiebs has just gone through that we'll be collecting on the way back, which is one you almost always grab, and then we'll probably also see Shkoople grab an extra pot just outside Lamola's room. On account of his low count. Yeah, we also see Shkoople grabbing the extra little 5 rupee pot there, which is, I think, pretty recommended in this spot. I'm quite surprised Kiebs didn't grab it. We're not quite at enough rupees to get into Palace of Darkness yet, and there's no guaranteed rupees between now and then. Okay, it's like Kiebs was trying and failing to set up a spin speed there. I don't think it actually is faster than just dashing down anyway, because you can't keep the spin speed through the heart piece pickup. Yeah, I'm really flying through the rupee prize pack here and not being able to collect very many of them. Oh, Shkoople got that room mixed up with the one at the beginning of the back of Desert. Yeah, and here we see that extra arrow pot. So Kiebs first into the Lamo fight here. It's a solid opening. Ooh, misfire there though, unfortunately. Yeah, so not a good second cycle. I'll be able to clean it up here in 3 though? Yeah. Looks like Shkoople didn't see how his opening went, but looks like it went quite well because Lamos are dying all over the place. It's like neither of them chose to menu to bonds during the cutscene. SMH. It's like Kiebs going for the just tank the explosion strat here. There are some kind of fancy bits of movement you can do. We see shkoople nearly getting one of them. So yeah, we're going to be grabbing a few heart pieces on the way to Hera here. Obviously that one we just grabbed in Agina's cave, first up. And we're getting bonk rocks after the fake flippers here. And a couple more on the mountain. Yeah, one of the reasons why going for the damage tank strat in Agina's cave is pretty fine is that we'll be getting a refill from heart containers, or yeah, from heart pieces before we enter Hera. Well, I guess we'll also potentially be bomb jumping back across Spec Rock. Yeah, it's like Kiebs was not fast enough to get the damage boost strat from the bird there, so just chose to kill it to not lose any time that way either. Yeah, shkoople trying to grab the rock in time and couldn't manage it either. Shkoople getting bopped by a boulder there, but we're able to set up the spin speed beforehand, so no problem here. Ooh. Kiebs was scarily close to being grabbed by the chatbot there. It looks like Kiebs did not get the Spec Rock interior heart piece pre-Hera. There are viable ways to do it afterwards, so it's not like this is an acceptable divergence. Shkoople doing it via hopping off the ledge and then bomb jumping back across. So the problem with doing it in the doing that heart piece after the dungeon is that you like Kiebs used a bomb here to get the coffee break, but you don't get a free menu to lamp. Whereas if you do it first, then you'll be put on the lamp. It's like Shkoople's not going to use a bomb for the coffee break at all, just going straight to lamp. Kiebs here at the Hera bomb jump. I think that's fine. Welcome in raiders from close to spectacular stream. You are watching NMG League. This is the Hundo season. Hope you're all doing okay. Oh, shkoople, yeah, menuing in such a way that it was impossible to avoid this contact with the mini Moldor. Nice early bomb jump. Okay, keeps having a bit of a moment here with Moldor. There we go. Boss down. Shkoople's coming in with a kind of scary number of hearts here. Continuing the theme of him getting beaten up a little bit more than Kiebs in, I think, just about every split so far. So yeah, here comes Kiebs collecting the spec rock heart piece. Shkoople's being trolled to hell by Moldor, but we got the win. I think this picks this fine from Kiebs. You can be like pretty high on this pit if you're on the right Y pixel. Or X pixel? Which one do I mean? Everyone knows what I mean, it's fine. So it looks like after we've converged with them having collected the same heart pieces, that the small lead that Kiebs had out of Escape has maybe increased slightly, but has largely just remained the same. Certainly no major errors from either runner yet. Looking at their splits here, they're both within 5 seconds either side of their respective PBs. Right, there's the mushroom pickup. Ooh, keeps going a little low there and getting a bonk. Alright, so after grabbing those collectibles in the woods there, we're resuming normal Aghanim's Tower. There is no fixed RNG. Yeah, we're here to play Zelda and Roulette, and we're gonna like it. Shkoople breaking the habit here, actually being the healthier gamer coming into this room, but has to do a little bit of extra work to set up the key dash as a result. Also just noticed that Kiebs is still, yeah, there we go, potentially struggling for rupees, so make sure to get those pots. He's still one short, gonna have to pick one up on the way to pod. There is a tree you can bonk if no other option is available. So Shkoople's going to be the first one into the Aghanim fight here. Who the first one out of the Aghanim fight is anyone's guess. So for the big RNG segments, this is actually the kind of least swingy one most of the time. Shkoople's already started collecting blue rolls. Alright, trying to watch two screens at once here. Chat, you're going to have to help me out a bit. Shkoople's on 2 balls so far. There's 1 on Keeb's side, not sure if there would have been more previously. Shkoople's on 4, I think. Right. I think that was a 1 from Keebs. Shkoople's still trooping on like a real gamer. Huge 7 gaming. Alright, thank you, close. Looks like it was 2 from Keebs. Must have been a second one somewhere that I missed. Alright, we've remembered the pyramid heart piece as well on Keeb's side. What are we... Oh, okay. Yeah, Keebs was farming a rupee there. You can bonk one of the trees for a guaranteed 5 on the screen just after this one. The tree's just to the right of the intersection there. Anyway, however we got the rupees, Keebs at least remembered that he needed one, so now as long as we don't get hit with the monkey, we're all good. Shkoople already had the money, but also doesn't have enough for a second monkey, so needs to be a little bit careful. And any percent NMG, we'd be on Boomerang here as well, so we'd be able to potentially boom some guys that might get in our way. Don't really want to use our precious arrows on the enemies on this screen. So we're going to be farming up a lot of bombs in Palace of Darkness here. There's bombs under pots all over the place, though we do also need to use a few, including bombing this floor here on Keeb's side to get to the big key. Ooh, Shkoople getting 1.0'd. Keeps coming into the hammer jump here. Gets the fairy drop on the bridge, though it's not as important in Hundo because we have more resources in Turtle Rock. Getting the fairy drop is not quite so important. To do a little bit of adjusting to get it there, see if Shkoople can claw back some time. Right, Keebs gets a convenient arrow drop in the door in Mimics there. Another pretty solid count. Shkoople probably needs to make sure that he gets some arrows in this room somewhere. Doesn't get the drop in there, and okay, does not grab any extras, so we're going to be firing his last arrow into the statue here. Keebs had a little bit of a turtle party there, but going to be first into the Helmasaur fight. So Shkoople has a much more civilized turtle party. Nice Helmasaur fight from Keebs. And Shkoople has the boss dead too. Right, now we reach the real roulette wheels. The dig and chest game splits coming up here, where all manner of minutes could be surrendered. So our first change in the post-pod route compared to any percent NMG is that we will be coming to bomb this thing open and get 300 rupees from the NPC inside. In the so-called hype cave, as Rando is wont to call it, even though it hasn't been hype since 2019. Right, so got ourselves a flute on Keep's side, and we get to see one of the closest things this game gets to a cutscene skip. We can grab the flute in the portal and skip the little animation of the animals running around and the kid fading out. It's like Shkoople and Kiebs doing their flute and their heart piece here in opposite orders. Right, here we go. Let's start the digging. So for those of you who don't know how dig game works, it doesn't. Right, we got a swing and a miss from the first attempt from Kiebs. Ooh, but we've got ourselves a lucky gamer over here in shkoople. Alright, no such luck second try from Kiebs either. Shkoople gonna go for, yeah, oh, didn't pull it off though. There's some kind of neat strats you can see there to get spin speed. Alright, Shkoople also remembers the very important menu to flute before grabbing the bug net to make the menu tolerable. See if Kiebs can dig up a heart piece on attempt number 3 here. Yes, we can. So we've got an active flute from Shkoople here, which we'll immediately be using to fly off to turn our mushroom into some powder. Right, looks like Kiebs is going to show us the bad menu here. Oh, there we go. Right, Shkoople's back from his vacation and has got a bottle from the merchant. Grabbing a couple more heart pieces here. People going for this little spin speed here, which I approve of. It's like Kiebs going for the fairy from the tree there, and unfortunately is having it run away a couple of times. So yeah, we'll see probably most runners in this tournament collecting a fairy as a safety for Spike Cave. Alright, Kiebs is abandoning ship on this one, but there are other options later. And yeah, Shkoople collecting some money in the well there. We've still got one like RNG based game that costs rupees to play coming up, so we don't know exactly how many rupees we need at this stage, but usually you want to have around about 300 coming out of there to be in a good spot. Actually got a fairy from the bush there that he could have doubled back for. Alright. Let's see how many chests. Ooh, bad start. Alright, 100 rupees is a nice bonus. It's easy to be in a pretty terrible financial situation after this game, even if you get the heart piece. Sometimes especially if you get the heart piece early as well. Alright, that was pretty quick. Shkoople is now through the huge RNG segments, so we've got a good honest speedrun from here on in. Alright, yeah, Shkoople coming down to grab the red boom. I think it was 4 or 5, yeah. Alright, let's see if Kiebs can get it faster. Shkoople only getting out of chess game with 1 arrow, though, is probably the biggest concern on his side at this point. Though there's enough opportunities to grab arrows that it shouldn't be the end of the world. Kiebs getting double arrowed in that chess game attempt. So Desert Palace is the name of the bracket for this part of the league. It's the second tier. Basically, there's 8 players in each bracket in league. This is the second tier, so the players like 9th to 16th in qualifying. Yeah, we just give the brackets names from the game for fun, because that's what we're all here for. Alright, Kiebs has collected the heart piece there. Again, didn't count the exact number of attempts. I think it was maybe slightly higher than shkoople, like a 5 or a 6. So yeah, the huge RNG is done with now. So it's quote-unquote fair fight from here. shkoople just received a head start of, what is this, like a minute and a half or so. Yeah, we saw shkoople grabbing his fairy in the hellway there. Had to powder the guy. Also a bunny beam under one of the pots in that room, like the jail cell room, that you can powder as well. shkoople is staying on script so far in the blind fight. Yeah, nice quick kill. Like Kiebs is going to go for the same fairy here, and gets it. Keeps getting hit by a couple of enemies there, but not a huge deal. Obviously in Hundo we're a bit more comfortable in general. We are grabbing all the heart pieces and such, so deaths are a bit less common. Given all the effort we've gone to catch a fairy, it would be unfortunate to then lose it. So shkoople grabbing that 300 there, and yeah, has got enough money for the rest of the run. Pretty sure we need 610 from this point onwards. 10 for the tempered sword, 500 for the flippers, and 100 for the big bomb. Keeps ending up slightly off script there, but not too slow a fight. Alright, Shkoople has handed in his sword. Now we get to grab the purple chest. Alright, so Kiebs is a little short on rupees here. Gonna need to find another 50 somewhere. There are a few options. Right, Shkoople grabs a bottle number 3 there from the purple chest. Now we're heading in to Skullwoods. Keeps with the nice downward-facing magic bat there. Shkoople getting a pretty convenient arrow drop there. Should be fine now. Shkoople failed early bomb jump there, gets it second try. Shkoople getting another fairy out of a bush there. Could have been a real gambler and tried to get a wild one rather than powdering. And Keeb's got one under a rock there. You can't move for fairies during these runs. Actually, another viable fairy location is the big key room in Skullwoods that we're going to be seeing on Keeb's side here. You can powder the pod at the top there. It has, I think, a bunny beam under it. Right. Shkoople has the Moth dead. 3 spikes moved, so reasonable fight, but not a huge fight. That bomb looks a little far away from Keebs, but it was good enough. we've got ourselves an Ice Palace next. This is another split that's more or less the same as 80% NMG. The only difference is we're going to be grabbing a heart piece on Zora Ledge. I've not seen that particular quick fish setup, but it appears that the fish was quick, so can't complain. So Kiebs is also out of skull here, going to be following in shkoople's footsteps. So it looks like exactly 1 minute 40 shkoople's lead based on their splits. Ooh, keeps getting lotteried here. A little unfortunate. Shkoople fire rodding the River Zora. Because we have half magic in this category, we can be a lot more liberal with our fire rod use. Shkoople having a bit of an adventure with the penguins here. Wasn't able to kill them with the spin, as is usually the case, and had to just navigate around them. Didn't know we were going for a pacifist playthrough, but why not? Right, Shkoople's Ice Palace bomb jump here. Looks like a good first position. I think this should be fine. Shkoople getting the clip. Kiebs demonstrating what I said about how you can be more liberal with the fire rod in this category. Blasting everything. Right. Here comes Cold Stare. Looks like a well-executed fight from Shkoople. That was a nice bit of movement there from Kiebs to thread the needle there between the shadow and the spikes to not take any damage in that room. I assume that's because they're streaming at different resolutions, but I can't prove it. Yeah, also possibly their console setups. Right, Shkoople coming into the Maya split here. We swap Misery Maya and Swamp Palace around in this category compared to... Oh, Shkoople with the disaster menu hitting the bottles. Yeah, so compared to 20% NMG, we do Maya before Swamp in order to have... or because we... like, it positions us better for the cleanup split. Oh... Kiebs unfortunately getting killed by Cold Stare there and having to use the fairy, so Shkoople using the fairy here where it's intended to be used if you don't quite get to the end of Spike Cave in time. Yeah, Kiebs could try and find a fairy on the mountain, or could just take the gamble. I mean, you're gambling on playing well, right? I mean, if you get hacked by boulders, then you're not gambling at all, because you just can't do it, right? I'm pretty sure... I mean, I don't know how many hearts you need for Spike Cave if you're a TAS, but I'm pretty sure a human cannot do it with less than the max we have here. Alright, so Kiebs has gotten here. He's gonna do some farming. Doesn't get it. I think we can powder these bushes, potentially? Alright. Alright, so not gonna go for an attempt without a fairy, gonna just go back through a portal and try again, have another farm. So we've seen Shkoople collecting the Maya Shared Heart piece there, which conveniently gives us a full health refill before Maya. Alright, Kiebs is getting nowhere on this fairy hunt. This is unfortunate. Alright, ferry captured. Alright. Kiebs does need it as well. It almost would have been kind of unfortunate if you'd spent that long farming a ferry and then not needed to use it, so this is probably for the best. With a slight mishap on the bridge there, nearly got eaten by the falling tiles. Yeah, so Kiebs getting the 20 rupees from the other chest in there as well. Still going to find another 30. Alright, shkoople getting a second try attempt at Spooky 2. Coming up on the Vitreous fight. Just able to get the 0 cycle as well. And playing pretty aggressively with the extra health. Ooh, Kiebs, unfortunately. Yeah. Missing the fire rod through the block and then getting shot by the whiz ropes. And shkoople's out of Maya. He's gonna remember the checkerboard heart piece here. Surely no one would ever forget that. Shkoople on the way to Swamp here. A couple of extra little bits to grab in Hundo. Oh, nice bush skull. Just the perfect place for it. Okay. Fine, these are overboard screens we don't do very often. So yeah, getting our Bombos medallion here, then we get the heart piece outside the dam. Keeps trying to heal up before Vitreous, and then being kind of given the run around by the fairy, but we got it now. Keeps and fairies have not been great friends this run. Shkoople making his way through Swamp here. One of the safer dungeons in NMG generally, and even more so in Hundo here. We do it even later and have more health. After Swamp, we're going to have the big cleanup before heading to Death Mountain for the endgame. Fire Snake was doing its work on Shkoople's side there. Just getting him at the stairs and then getting him at the door. Oh, Keeps is grabbing an ice rod at this point. That's fair, I guess. Yeah, typically this would be like the last thing you do during the end game cleanup section, but Keeps is getting it out of the way. Alright, Shkoople's got a hook shot now, continuing to get beaten up in Swamp, but again, it shouldn't be a concern, though it's kind of getting close to being a concern. Looks like he didn't get the hook dash there either, so struggling to pick up this pot. Looks like Argus moved down pretty quick there, made the zero cycle pretty tricky. Hopefully we can keep it to one here. This looks pretty good. Oh, no, the last puff is being stubborn, but fine. Since I last checked up on Kiebs' rupee count, he's managed to pick up 3 rupees from somewhere without me noticing. Is Kiebs going to get doubled by the Fire Snake as well? Oh yeah, at least he dodged the second one, but still got blocked. Right, so Shkoople moving on here to run some errands. See if we can do any fancy mirroring here. We got the bonk. I think that was the double quick warp. Yeah. Huge. Keeps getting the so-called lag rupees there. Ooh, there was a 5-drop that was almost convenient. Final bottle, Shkoople there from the hobo. Right, here's the big bomb. See what strat Shkoople wants to go for here. There's a few options. It's like, yeah, he's abandoned the bomb straight away, so he's going for the kind of easier version of the dupe, and yeah, gets it nicely. We don't want to have walked that far, do we? I don't know, maybe it's fine. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? We can go in the left side of this portal. Really consider that. I was like menu on the right still. Looks like it's a single cycle Argus in kiebs as well. Shkoople is done throwing his things in the pond. So there's Shkoople's cape. We're coming towards the end of the item gathering here. For the fast one placement there and gets it nicely. So we've got this heart piece, we've got the bumper ledge, and then the lumberjack heart pieces. And then it's a case of just grabbing the ice rod on the way to Turtle Rock, or I guess in kiebs' case, not grabbing the ice rod, because he already has it. Get to see some nice use of the cape here over on Shkoople's side to, well, not just get through the bumper as required, but also to kind of avoid the murder dactyls. Looks like kiebs is not going for any bomb dupe strat here. Shkoople being bothered by the enemies there and not able to use that first bomb, had to place a second. Got plenty though. Right, so Shkoople is landing on Death Mountain here for our end game. Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower with just a couple of heart pieces to collect in the meantime. And shkoople electing to grab the extra bomb there as well. I actually don't remember the exact count we would like at this stage of the game. You normally only need one in regular NMG, but we have to use a couple in Hookshot Cave, and also I guess one to get out of the back door of Turtle Rock. I think 4 would have been fine. Kiebs is going a little bit late on the menu to cape here. Usually want to try and menu to cape early, because the cape is a weird item that will mess everything up if you try and use it straight away, but it seems fine here. Shkoople gets the fairy and the full magic drops in TR there, so should be super set. Rest of the dungeon should not cause any problems. Kiebs is of course coming straight to Death Mountain here, having grabbed the ice rod early. Shkoople's bomb flying right through the wall there, but was still able to blow it up. It's a property of weird things happening when you pick up pots while objects are in the air, I think. Alright, mirror shield down for Shkoople. Just one more heart piece and red mail is the only Hundo specific things to still remember from here on in. See if... oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say, let's see if Shkoople can get the squeeze past the rolling pin here, but yeah, the mishap with the chest there means that there was no chance. Played it safe. It's like no one told Kiebs about the cape strats for that room, unfortunately. They're really good. Oh, Kiebs, unfortunately not pushing the block. This is a little scary now. Try and get out of this room alive, please. Okay. Just gonna go for the powder. Oh, no. Oh, I guess we can get this one? No? Oh, I guess one of the ones in the, like, the big pokey room. Okay. Oh, shkoople, unfortunately, not being able to get the one cycle on the firehead there, having to menu back to Ice Rod. Right, there we go. Keeps picking up all manner of fairies. Shkoople's got Trinex down. I think Keebs got one of the mimics clipped into a block there. Coming up on... okay. That's why we grabbed the extra bomb in Turtle Rock. Right, Shkoople has all the hearts. So yeah, Gauss Tower in Hundo can be a little bit of a procession. We've got way more health than we normally do, better equipment, a mirror shield. Still doesn't mean it's easy to do fast though. Still gotta play it well. Shkoople going for the torch key there. Keeps also going for a front door strat and an early menu, but does get the first head down quickly. Okay. Shkoople going for these extra arrows, which were probably not necessary with silvers, but why not? Alright, here we go. we've remembered not to mirror out from the big key room, so 100% completion coming up. Alright, we have all the things. Just gotta finish the game. See if we see the cool strat in this room. Yeah, I love this mimic strat with silvers and mirror shield. Get to stare them down. Right, Kiebs has the last heart piece as well. Lost Stalfos being a little bit elusive there in Gauntlet 2. Like Kiebs is going for a different key route here, skipping the torch key. Typically you get the mini Helmasaur key upstairs in Hundo. It's like with the extra health, it's usually not a concern to take an extra little bit of damage. Oh, shkoople blowing the silver strats, but actually gets a second chance at killing the second Lamo. So it still gets a pretty quick 2-cycle. Shkoople grabbing some magic that he probably doesn't need. Doesn't need to kill the mini Helmer here because he's already got his extra key. Alright, so he's going to skip the big magic here. Makes sense. Typically we only need to light the torch in the Ganon fight once or twice in Hundo, because silvers make the last phase so much faster. We might need to light both torches because it's not always good to go for torch glitch. Alright, Kiebs done with downstairs GT, just as Shkoople's done with upstairs. Which one's the real one? Okay, it's behind that one. Alright, we've got ourselves a lineup here, come on, get a triple. Yeah, there we go, now we're gaming. I feel like we should have got a hit from somewhere there. Agatu down. Right, so the Ganon fight is somewhat trivialized by our equipment here. Shouldn't really ever see anyone miss the one-on-one with Gold Sword. Kiebs does get the one cycle ammo too, thanks to Silvers. Shkoople's contesting with a few Ganon warps here. Alright, here we go. So probably a double-double here. Yeah, nice fight. Down he goes. So Shkoople's gonna bring it home here, get across that finish line in 1:46.53. Congratulations on winning this first week of NMG League. It's going to be advancing into the winners bracket in the Desert Palace division. Kiebs is unfortunately having a little bit of trouble going for the chest key there. So neither player get the mini Helmasaur key. What kind of Hundo tournament is this? Kiebs coming into Aga 2 now. Just got to rattle off a couple of boss fights of his own here. Might have counted as a triple. Also certainly might not. Alright, well, we didn't get the chance to find out immediately. So it's 4 or 5 hits at this point. Okay, so it was 4, but I still got the 3 cycle. Right, so yeah, nice Aga 2 fight from Kiebs. See if we can have an equally nice Ganon fight. Fortunately, not going to quite be able to snag the sub 150, but shouldn't be too far after, given the RNG occurrences. This is a pretty reasonable run. I mean, apart from those RNGs and the mishap with the fairy outside Spike Cave, it was otherwise a pretty reasonable run from Kiebs. Kiebs, yeah, not quite quick enough to get a double in there. Probably wanted to wait until the next movement to actually light the torch there, but might be able to still sneak a double in here. Yeah, nice finish. Alright, GG's to Kiebs also. Gonna be coming in here with a 150-20 for a second place finish. looks like nobody wants to talk to me. So I will be signing off kind of soon, I guess.
I'll talk to you.
Trez, I suppose. Thank you.
But yeah, thank you so much, Rob J. Beasley, for doing comms, and of course a big shout out to Kiebs for being on a stream. Sorry again for being a little late. Hitman randomizer got me caught up a little bit. But yeah, I hope you all had a fun time, and we'll of course be back with more NMG League in the next few days. There's one scheduled tomorrow. Not sure if we get a respawn for that, but Rob J. Beasley will be on the playing side of things then. And that would be at 3 p.m. UTC tomorrow. So we'll see if that happens. Else, plenty of stuff to go on the weekend. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a great time. And if not, let us know. But that's it for today on ZSR. So thank you all for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.